Yo, what's up guys? This is Rise and welcome to another video. Today we are showcasing a set I had that was pretty crazy featuring Shadow Zapdos, one of the most electrifying, pun intended, Pokemon in the meta with its ability to generate energy so quickly and have so much attack for its hard-hitting charge moves, leaving the opponent wondering what just happened when they feel like they're in a good spot and suddenly Shadow Zapdos goes on a tear and flips the entire game. We played a couple of sets with this team on stream, and the strategy behind the team, right? You got two bulky mons in Azu and Registeel, and Shadow Zapdos is kind of just there as the sweeper. You try to save shields as best as you can. Here in this first battle, we'd see a pretty tough lead into a Charge Bug. The opponent throws on alignment, so that's at least something for us, but I don't know how we're going to get around this Charge Bug because we don't really have an answer for it. It beats all three of our Pokemon, so we're going to try and dance around as best as we can. I swap into Registeel. They swap into Gligar. They're a little slow to swap. I guess they wanted to bank energy, so maybe that can give us some play here. Zap Cannon connects, and man, this Shadow Gligar must be pretty good IVs because that Zap Cannon did awfully little, and they're going to fire off a Dig here. I don't feel like it's worth shielding per se because if I shield, I'm just going to get outpaced over time since Gligar gets to dig quicker than Registeel gets to Zap Cannon. Zap Cannon fires. At this point, I'm like, do I shield and lock on down? Maybe. Nah, I'm not going to do that. And because they threw Dig here, I'm like, you know what? I can probably Thunder Shock down and not take a move. So we go for that. In comes, let's see what's going to come in. Is it going to be the Charge Bug? And it is the Charge Bug. I'm going to catch an X-Scissor, hopefully, onto my Azumarill here, or whatever move they throw. It was the X-Scissor bait. Unfortunately, Azu, as you see, is going to get entirely Volt Switch down. Nice energy management by the opponent, recognizing they could Volt Switch down. And here I'm like, do I throw my Drill Peck right away, or do I go for the extra? I wasn't sure if he would throw back to back or not, so I didn't throw. Bit of a mistake perhaps by me, and it is a Feraligatr in back. So even if I had shielded, or sorry, even if I had thrown right away, I think I would have lost that game anyway. Good game against Crimson, outplayed us. Charge Bug, pretty tough for all three of our Pokemon, but we didn't give up. We said, let's stick this team out for this. I like to usually do that, unless the team is just flat out bad. I like to stick a team out for an entire set. So here we go. Azu into Medicham. Positive lead for us. For some reason, every Medicham I'm seeing is running Psychic. I mean, Psychic got nerfed a couple seasons ago now, and Dynamic Punch I thought was like standard, but I guess not. I guess Psychic is still more common for whatever reason. But you see how the Psychic nerf has impacted this matchup because now Azu can comfortably take two Psychics. Before, if Medicham got like a Psychic debuff, the second Psychic would knock out easy. So this matchup has definitely changed course with that Psychic nerf. As you're going to fire off an Ice Beam here, I could pivot, but I get this shield advantage. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to play it safe. I'm just going to let myself get farmed down. Registeel can soak up anything here. Registeel can completely wall the energy from Superior, so I'm just going to play it safe. I get Leaf Tornadoed, and I get debuffed, unfortunately. He swaps into Talonflame. And I'm like, okay, this is pretty good, right? Well, these Incinerates are really adding up. And I also got very lucky here that it was a CMP because that would have been really bad if my opponent went for the extra there. But we do get the CMP. Flame Charge is going to do some massive damage. I get off the Drill Peck here. Is this going to be enough to knock out the neutral? Drill Peck does knock out the Talonflame. There is Superior. And dude, we get Vine Whipped down by Superior. I'm like, oh no. Am I going to somehow lose this game? Am I going to somehow lose this game? We get Leaf Tornadoed. No debuff. That's huge. But they go for another move. I'm like, And they Aerial Ace me for an inexplicable reason. I don't think there's any reason there to Aerial Ace. There's zero reason. But based off the damage that Focus Blast did, I think even if they Leaf Tornado debuffed me, I think 2 still would have KO'd no matter what. So maybe if they got back-to-back and we go for a little Zap Cannon BM. But how about that? We just ran into an Aerial Ace Leaf Tornado Superior. You thought you've seen everything. You thought you've seen everything in the Go Battle League. Nuh-uh. Leaf Tornado, Aerial Ace, Serperior. Azumir. So this is kind of weird. Oh, well, he swaps right away, so I guess not weird. But this tells me he must have a better answer to Azu in the back. So I'm thinking like Trevenant right away. And we're going to go for the Ice Beam bait. We get a shield. Very nice. I'm willing to take a return because when you run a Shadow Zapdos, you need to save shields for Shadow Zapdos if possible. We're going to swap in Reginald after eating the return on Azu. Sableye building up energy. Foul plays will chunk, but we can take a couple at least. I go for the Zap Cannon here. That looked like it might have been bad timing. I'm not sure. Zap Cannon coming through. Grabs the shield. Our opponent's willing to go down 2 shields. Very interesting. Very interesting. We are going to take another foul play here. Unfortunately, this Sableye might outpace us to the 3rd foul play. And now this is awkward. It's like, what do I do here? I shield, but at the same time, it's like, I don't love this situation because I'm just giving this opponent farm. My Azu already ate a return. My Azu's low, so I pivot. I take a gamble, just pivoting straight into into Zapdos against the Azumarill. And now we are going to put up a protection. We have to respect the Ice Beam, of course. What's going to be in back? We're anticipating a catch, and it's a Skarmory. I wasn't sure if I should undercharge this or not, so I just go full force. Boom! Nearly knocks out the Skarmory. It's a good thing we didn't undercharge, otherwise we could have put ourselves in a tricky position. But I figured as long as I knocked out the Skarm and landed a Thunderbolt on Azu, we were going to win the game. So a good game there after dropping the first battle. A couple of wins in a row, getting some momentum, getting some confidence. It's like when you're playing basketball, you miss a shot, but then you knock down a couple shots, you start to feel it. There's some weird science behind that, where like, actually maybe it's like a lack of science behind it. Like, why is it? Any athletes know, like, sometimes you just like feel in the zone, like you're hitting every shot. Sometimes it's the opposite. You feel like you can't hit the rim. Why is that? Sometimes you're just like feeling it. Anybody know? Is there like any studies behind that? Because I feel like any basketball player watching knows what I'm talking about. Sometimes you feel like your shot is just on the money. Sometimes not so much. And maybe that just kind of applies to everything in life. Sometimes in the Go Battle League, you feel like you're making all the right plays, all the right calls. Your counts are on point. Sometimes maybe not so much in your shadow balling Noctowls. Azumarill into Feraligatr. We're going to build up energy here. And our opponent makes a terrific catch. Terrific catch onto an ice type. I didn't even see what it was. It is Abomasnow. So now we're going to try and store some energy for that Feraligatr. And in the process, we're actually able to catch a move back onto our Registeel. So this is kind of nice for us. The Feraligatr has quite a bit of energy. I think it did 10 Shadow Claws. So we got to keep that in mind for later. Registeel going to completely wall off this Abomasnow. However, we don't have any fast move pressure. So we're going to go for the Focus Blast here since it's a little cheaper. Completely undercharged. You could argue maybe I should have Zap Cannoned and undercharged to get more farm. But the thing is, Feraligatr already has so much energy that even if I was to do that, like he would always win the CMP. It's not like I was ever going to get a move off against this Feraligatr. So Feraligatr going to fire off a Hydro Cannon. It does knock us out. Feraligatr, I believe, has 7. So we do 1 in throw. He's at 8 now. And since he's unleashing a Hydro Cannon, he's at 2. We're going to do 1 bubble and throw for proper timing. He's now at 4. And to my surprise, this Feraligatr actually lets it go. He swaps into Shadow Venusaur. And now we're in a pretty decent looking spot because Dropek will one-shot this Venusaur. This Venusaur did have a head start though, so this makes it a little more uncomfortable for my Zapdos because usually in a matchup, around 4 charge moves is how long it's going to take before the switch timer comes up. So we're going to play out the 2 shield scenario here. I'm throwing on charge attack priority. This Dropek grabs the final shield from Venusaur. Venusaur is on its 5 cycle. Frenzy Plant is 6/6/5 for Vine Whip. And we are going to throw on the charge attack party, but he makes a terrific catch. His switch timer literally just came up. It just came up. We knock out with no bubbles. He's going to win the game. But wait, he doesn't throw energy for some reason. And Azu gets to the Ice Beam. So if we just do a little instant replay, there's one final battle after this one. This was kind of a weird game. So he swapped into Venusaur, right? And we did one bubble and swap. So our switch timers are almost aligned. His is like literally a second and a half ahead of mine. And if I slowly pause this, like, look, I was confident that his switch timer wouldn't be quite up, thinking it was like the same, but it must have just come up because mine hasn't come up, but his just came up. That's crazy. We fully undercharge. This Venusaur has a move loaded already. It's 6 away. So I believe we are three or 4 away. Oh, let's see. Maybe he didn't actually misplay. Because if we go Drill Peck here, maybe we were only 3 away. And if we were only 3 away, I think we were only 3 away. I think we're only 3 away. So he had to do 4. Otherwise, we would win the CMP. So in the moment, I thought this opponent might have hadn't lost track of energy, but I think they're actually just outclassing your boy Rise, and we got lucky. Because, yeah, if he does 3 and throw, I think Zapdos wins the charge attack priority. So a crazy game there. G to the G. Azu into Dugong. And they swap Trev. Sorry, I went blank for a sec. Trev is an awkward swap. That's like exactly how I reacted in the moment too, because like, what do we do? It's obviously Zapdos, probably the best play, but Trev can really put the pressure on with the Shadow Claws. I'm not even 100% sure if Zapdos can get to 3 Drill Pecks here before the Shadow Claws would eventually knock out. So I got the shield first from Azu. I shield the Shadow Ball. He actually went for it. That was pretty crazy. I thought for sure he was going to bait Seed Bomb there. But we go for the Drill Peck. Drill Peck coming through, knocks out Trev. I'm expecting Dugong to come back in. And you're going to see when the Dugong comes back in here, we're going to fire straight for the Thunderbolt, because even if I bait, best case scenario, I get to a Drill Peck. I decide to play it safe, guarantee the shield or massive damage. And now here's the tricky thing. He swapped out of Dugong versus Azu. That's a pretty decent matchup for Dugong. So he must have a better Azu answer in the back. So I'm thinking that, but I'm also thinking like, I got to come in Reggie here. Like Azu's already kind of low. So I come in Reggie. He lands a Drill Run on us. Gonna go for the Zap Cannon here. He just reached his move on Dugong. So I'm gonna pivot into Azu. And I'm thinking, if you actually watch the VOD of the stream, I'm like, uh-oh, what if there's like a Venusaur that comes in and farms me down? And look at that. There's a Venusaur that comes in. It's going to farm me down. But I think, fortunately for us, it's a non-Shadow Venusaur. And it doesn't do enough damage before we can get to the Ice Beam. And now Reggie is simply going to be able to absorb one move, shield one move, and get to a Focus Blast. So we are in a good spot there. The opponent recognizes it. They top left. And that is a 4-1 set with Shadow Zapdos. We've had a few sets recently that we showcased on the channel where we like lose the first game and then we go on a nice run after. So nice example of not getting too demoralized or frustrated from the Go Battle League. There's going to be days where you are going to go negative, and that is out of your control. Is that because the game is out to get you per se? No, that's because one thing that confuses me, and I don't want to get into it at all, like in the comments or anything, because I don't. But one thing that confuses me is people don't seem to understand the concept of an ELO system. Maybe this is where people, oh my God, I was ranting on my stream lately. I've gotten like 3 comments ever in like the 4 years of my channel, like that Rise is cocky. And those like 3 comments really are annoying because like, I don't feel like that describes me at all. But maybe this is where it comes from when I suggest that the game isn't out to get you. Because I remember we talked about this on a video before. The person that said I was cocky said it was because I talk about move timing all the time. And this is probably where it stems from. Because I'm of the opinion and belief contrary to the game being out to get you, that an elo system, the way an elo system works, like in chess, for example, right? I am so bad at chess. I'm a complete novice, but I sometimes play online for fun. I'm like really bad. If anyone in the comments watching this video is good at chess, like I don't know anything, but at least I know how the pieces move, basically. But the way an elo system works in chess, right? You play against people, you gain elo when you win, and eventually you're going to be at an elo range where you're playing people of the same caliber. And if you're playing people of the same skill level, obviously, just based off of logic, your win rate's going to be about 50%. So when people say the game is out to get them, to keep them at a 50% win rate, I mean, you're not wrong in the sense of that being like the ultimate effect by the time you reach the elo towards the end of the season that's corresponding with your skill level. But the thing is, like, that's how an elo system works, is if you're playing against people of the same skill level, you're of course going to be around a 50% win rate. So that's why you see Jason, for example. Jason is like arguably the best Go Battle League player in the world because he takes it really seriously, and he like comes up with like really strong lines that are very difficult to play against, where they're going to lure out something with like a dugong and then the Bastiodon's going to sweep. So Jason has like an 80% win rate right now at the start of the season. Is Jason going to maintain an 80% win rate? No, because he's going to eventually pair up against players of similar skill level, and that 80% win rate is going to dip down closer and closer to 50%. Anyway, let me know if you enjoyed that little tangent at the end, or if it stirs up a ruckus. I don't know. I love you all. I hope you have a great weekend, a great day. I'm already saying the weekend. It's only Wednesday. What's going on? I'm looking forward to the weekend because I actually got invited to speak at an event, which is pretty cool. Anyway, this was like a 13-minute video that suddenly became like an 18-minute video because I decided to ramble on at the end. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're new, comment down below. All comments are appreciated. And that said, thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.